District Deputy Grand Master, Worshipful Master, brethren, ladies and friends. One of the duties of the Masonic Lodge is to acknowledge the hard work and selfless devotion of its members. I have been given the responsibility, or should I say the honor, of doing this tonight for our lodge. For me, this is a labor of love, because our recipient has become a close friend, as well as a brother, over the past 10 years. Hackenburg-mt.moriah Lodge has chosen to present an award for exemplary service and devotion to our lodge and to Masonry in general. This award is named after one of our past masters, Meyer J. Freiberg, and I would like to briefly tell you why this award is so named. Meyer Freiberg was an active member of Mount Moriah Lodge number 155 and served as a worshipful master in 1951. He was also an instructor at our Masonic schools for many years. Not only did he teach at the schools, he tutored men in his home every Saturday morning for years. For him, this was a labor of love. When Meyer was in his early 80s, he had a stroke. When he recovered, he realized that he had lost most of the 15,000 words of ritual that he knew. Undaunted and filled with the desire to teach the work, he became a student and relearned the work so he could continue teaching. Masonry was a way of life to him, and he was active in it and this lodge until the time of his death. It is for this reason we name our lodges the way after him. Michael Stephen Felcher petitioned our lodge on December 9th, 1999. His recommenders were Bill and Jay Gordon. I first met Michael when I interviewed him on January 12th, 2000. The other members of the Committee of Inquiry were Jody Cervanka and Sam Sack. Mike was entered on February 17th, crafted on March 16th, and raised to the sublime degree of a Master Mason on May 18th. Mike attended meetings as a regular member until October 2004, when he was appointed acting junior warden due to the poor health and then untimely death of our junior warden, Brother Martin Rogoff. From this point on, Mike really got involved in the lodge. Mike was officially elected junior warden for the year 2005. In 2006, Mike was elected senior warden and really started to apply his unique talents for the benefit of the lodge. With the permission of the Worshipful Master Norman Freeman, he initiated a Masons and Friends Night Out. This was held at Lulu Temple and consisted of getting together without ritual, playing cards, shuffleboard, and other games, just for some fun and brotherhood. We have expanded this event and invited members of Palestine Roxborough Lodge number 135, as well as members of Prudence Lodge number 11 of Prince Hall. Our relationship with Prudence 11 was something that Mike worked on very diligently. We have exchanged fraternal visits and shared our brotherhood with these men. One of them, Brother Gary Shepard, is here tonight to see Mike get this award. A secondary benefit was to introduce non-Masons to our brethren. Last fall, 3 non-Masons came, and today they're fellow craft Masons, scheduled to get their 3rd degrees at the one-day class in the fall. This was with the first of many changes and innovations that Mike was to bring to the lodge. In 2007, under the direction of Worshipful Master Gilstein, he organized a visitation from Friendship Tuscan Lodge number 145 from Manchester, Connecticut. On Friday, September 28th, members of that lodge came to the temple and performed a 3rd degree in full Connecticut regalia. Our lodge exemplified a Pennsylvania opening and closing for them. For those of us who were there, it was a Masonic highlight we will not forget. Mike has also traveled to Connecticut to visit their lodge. Also in 2007, Mike worked with Bill Gordon to start our lodge's first website. Mike is now the webmaster for our lodge, as well as the webmaster for Lodges 135 and Lodge 368. But it was not until 2008 when Mike became the Worshipful Master that he could really put his agenda into effect. To sum it up in 2 simple words, that agenda was change and brotherhood. Not content to do the things that we as a lodge have always done, Mike wanted to push the idea of brotherhood outside of our traditional lodge meetings. A simple look at his 2008 and 2009 calendars will give you an idea of all the hard work and dedication he put into this task. I wrote this all up, Michael. In February 2008, we had a family night at the Philadelphia Phantoms hockey game. Also in February, we went on a formal trip to Prudence Lodge number 11, Prince Hall affiliation. In March, we had a trip to the Delaware Freemasonry Brotherhood Night at North Shrine Center. In May, we had a joint table lodge with Palestine Roxborough Lodge number 135 at Roxborough. Also at our annual banquet in May, we raised $2,400 for the Adam Talaferro Foundation, whose mission is helping athletes who suffer spinal cord injuries. We took a trip to Alexandria, Virginia with Palestine Roxborough Lodge in June. We went to the George Washington Masonic Memorial, where we took a tour with Our Ladies and conferred a second degree. We then visited the House of the Temple, headquarters of Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in the Southern jurisdiction. Our Masons and Friends Night was held in September. I would point out that in 2008, Mike also became a dual member of Palestine Roxborough Lodge number 135, in no small part to the deep and lasting friendship he developed there with their master, Richard Heath, who was also joined our lodge. Our Masonic year in 2009 followed much the same way, with interesting meetings and outside events. We started the year with a program by brothers Laird Bevitz and Barry Oppenheim entitled Things That Aren't There Anymore. This is noteworthy for two reasons. The first, that it was in response to Mike's not knowing basic things from the 50s and 60s that most of our more mature members knew. And secondly, that Barry and Laird have performed this program many times for other lodges and have raised $1,800 for the Joseph Trade Masonic Dyslexia Learning Center and the Shriners Hospital. We also had a family night at the Phantoms game in January. In May of 2009, we went to Maryland with Palestine Roxborough Lodge. We visited Annapolis Lodge number 89, and having received dispensation, opened a lodge meeting and conferred a Master Mason's degree on a brother from Palestine Roxborough Lodge. We also saw Maryland opening and closing. This was done while the ladies were shopping. We all visited the Naval Academy before returning home. Later that month, we had a table lodge to celebrate our anniversary. Mike came in costume as the Marquis de Lafayette, and Richard Heath came as George Washington. We had over 90 men in attendance, including brothers from Prince Hall, as well as other lodges from the Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania. In the fall of the year, we had another Masons and Friends Night Out, a trip to Gettysburg with Lodge 135. Our closing event for the year was a ladies' night, where we had another silent auction that Mike organized. We raised $650 for the Joseph Trade 32nd Degree Masonic Dyslexia Learning Center for Children. Mike is also responsible for the silent auction we're having tonight, which benefits the Masonic home in Lafayette Hill. As you can see, Mike had 2 busy years. Aside from the previously mentioned activities, I'd like to tell you a few more of his accomplishments. Mike made early and extensive use of the call-em-all and email communication started by the Right Worshipful Grand Master Stephen Gardner, as well as our website. Through this, our average attendance increased, especially in 2008. His innovation and hard work caught the attention of Right Worshipful Grand Master Gardner, who called and asked him to speak at the 2008 Warden's Seminar. He was the only person to address the seminar who was not from the Grand Lodge. In that conversation, Brother Gardner told him that he was one of the best masters in the state. He never told me that, Mike. Mike has introduced a PowerPoint program with Brother Ed Donison, past master, called Masonic Jeopardy. They have done this for our lodge as well as Palestine Roxborough Lodge, and Mike has registered this program on the Masonic Speakers Bureau. Mike has been asked by many other lodges to bring some of his programs to them. Just last night, he went to the William Bray Lodge in Hatboro to perform the Masonic military ceremony that he created for our lodge. This was an idea that he had seen elsewhere and completely revamped before he brought it to our lodge. It honors all the men in the lodge who are veterans, as well as those veterans who have passed away. Looking forward to the future of our lodge, Mike has also offered to help the current officers with setting up their lodge programs, something that he's very good at. While doing this, I would point out that Mike has brought about 15 men into our lodge. He even tried to talk up the fraternity with a male nurse 45 minutes after having an emergency appendectomy. I was there, I saw it. I could not conclude this presentation without a few words about Mike's wife, Dana. Mike became an active member in the lodge about the same time he married Dana. As all of us who are active know, it is impossible to do this without the support of our wives. From house meetings at their home to his spending a great deal of time on lodge work and at lodge meetings, Dana supported Mike in his Masonic endeavors. Factor in the birth of their first daughter, Shayna, in March of 2006, and you can imagine how difficult this had to be. This year, Mike and Dana have had another beautiful daughter, Rebecca. Dana, and I mean this sincerely, on behalf of all the men here who love our lodge and who appreciate the work Mike has done, we all thank you as well. He could not have done it without your help and encouragement. And so, my brethren and honored guests, it is my honor to introduce to you my dear friend and brother, the 2010 Meyer J. Freiberg Award winner, Michael S. Felcher, past master.